Have you wondered why the nicest person in the room often has the most control? Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people don't get controlled by bullies. They get controlled by people they like. Think about the nicest person you know, the one everyone trusts, the one who's always understanding, always patient, always calm. Now here's the question we don't like to ask. What if that niceness isn't weakness? What if it's positioning? From the time we're young, we're taught a very simple story about power. Loud people have it. Aggressive people abuse it. Quiet, kind people are safe. That story feels good. It makes the world feel predictable. But real life doesn't work that way. In real social environments, overt aggression actually loses power quickly. People resist it. They prepare for it. They defend against it. Niceness, on the other hand, bypasses defense. When someone is consistently pleasant, your nervous system relaxes around them. You stop monitoring their intentions. You stop filtering what you say. You stop protecting your internal world. And without realizing it, you start giving them leverage. You share frustrations you don't share with others. You explain your boundaries instead of enforcing them. You justify your decisions. Information flows one way. Here's the part most people miss. The nicest person rarely gives away their own inner world at the same rate. They listen far more than they reveal. They remember details, patterns, weak spots. They don't rush to control. They wait. Every small kindness they offer, listening, helping, supporting, becomes an emotional deposit. And humans are wired to repay deposits. So when that person eventually needs something, or withdraws warmth, or subtly expresses disappointment, you feel it, not as pressure, as obligation. You don't think, they're manipulating me, you think, I owe them. And the moment control feels like your idea, it's already complete. This isn't about villains, it's about human mechanics. The nicest person in the room often isn't controlling others consciously, but they understand something deeply. People give power most easily to those who make them feel safe. Now, this is exactly how people manipulate you without ever lying. When people hear the word manipulation, they think of lies, false statements, fake stories, obvious deception, but that's amateur manipulation. The most effective manipulators don't lie. They edit. They decide which truths you get access to and which ones you don't. Here's why that works. Your brain hates incomplete information. When something doesn't fully make sense, your mind fills in the gaps automatically. It assumes continuity, logic, meaning. So when someone gives you partial truth, your brain finishes the story for them. And the conclusion feels solid, because you built it. This is why people can guide your decisions without ever saying anything false. They reveal one detail early, another one later, a critical piece only after a choice is locked in. And when things don't turn out the way you expected, you don't accuse them of lying. You accuse yourself of misunderstanding. That's the trick. Watch how often people say things like, I didn't think that part mattered. I assumed you already knew. It just didn't come up. Those phrases sound innocent, but timing is everything. Truth delivered late is functionally identical to deception. And the scariest part? Most people who do this don't see themselves as manipulators. They see themselves as efficient, strategic, or simply private. But the effect is the same. You act on a reality that was curated for you. Now, I want to show you why silence is one of the most powerful manipulation tools. Sit tight and learn something new. Silence doesn't look like control. That's why it works. When someone stops responding, your mind immediately goes to work. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Did I overstep? Your nervous system interprets silence as social threat, and social threat is deeply wired. Thousands of years ago, exclusion meant death. So your body reacts before logic has a chance. You start replaying conversations. You soften your position. You explain more than necessary. You reach out. The silent person doesn't have to do anything. They control the pace simply by not moving. This is why delayed replies feel heavy, why emotional withdrawal creates anxiety, why being ignored hurts more than being criticized. Silence shifts the power dynamic. The one speaking is exposed. The one silent is protected. And eventually, the person on the receiving end will try to restore balance, often by apologizing, compromising, or lowering their standards. Not because they were wrong, because they were uncomfortable. Silence isn't absence. It's pressure without fingerprints. Let's look at the psychology of guilt. How people make you feel responsible for their problems. Guilt is one of the cleanest control tools humans use. No shouting, no demands, no threats, just implication. A sigh, a pause, a disappointed look. Phrases like, "I just thought you'd understand. I guess I'll handle it somehow." Suddenly, their emotional state feels like your responsibility. Guilt works because we're social creatures. We're wired to maintain harmony. When someone frames themselves as hurt because of us, our nervous system reacts immediately. We don't want to be the bad one, so we step in, we fix, we sacrifice, and we call it kindness. But there's a difference between compassion and coerced responsibility. Manipulative guilt never asks directly. It waits for you to volunteer. And once you do, the pattern is set. You become the regulator of someone else's emotional state. That's not love, that's leverage. Another important thing you should learn is why favors are rarely free. Let's be honest about something most people avoid. Favors change relationships. The moment someone helps you, something shifts. Your brain records it automatically. You didn't choose that. It's evolutionary wiring. Reciprocity kept our ancestors alive, but this wiring can be exploited, especially when favors are given early, unsolicited, dramatically, because refusing repayment later feels immoral. The manipulative favor doesn't come with a demand, it comes with a memory. After everything I've done, you know I wouldn't ask unless it mattered. And suddenly, you're not deciding freely anymore. You're balancing an invisible ledger. This is why strategic generosity is powerful. Why help can create control. Why kindness can be a leash. The moment you see the strings is usually the moment they tighten. And the goal of understanding this isn't paranoia, it's awareness. Because once you see the mechanics, you can choose differently. And choice is the opposite of manipulation. Do you know that most people you meet are not being fake? They're being adaptive. From childhood, we learn a dangerous lesson. Who you are is less important than how you're received. So we adjust, we soften, we exaggerate. We hide parts that cost us love, approval, or safety. This is where manipulation quietly begins, not always as a strategy, but as survival. People learn which version of themselves gets rewarded. The agreeable one, the funny one, the silent one, the dominant one. Over time, the mask becomes automatic. And when everyone is masked, sincerity becomes rare currency. This part explores how people unconsciously manipulate perception, smiling while resenting, agreeing while planning exit, appearing confident while internally collapsing. You'll recognize this in workplaces, friendships, even families. We'll talk about why people punish honesty, why authenticity threatens social order, and why being real often comes with consequences. not motivational consequences, real ones. By the end, you'll understand why people lie without lying, perform without realizing it, and why seeing through masks can isolate you. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Power doesn't shout, it whispers. We imagine power as loud, aggressive, obvious. In reality, the most dangerous power is quiet. It's the person who never raises their voice, but somehow always gets their way. The one who never gives orders, yet people adjust themselves around them. This part dissects soft power, influence through silence, scarcity, emotional distance, and implied authority. You'll learn how withholding attention becomes control, how calmness can intimidate, how uncertainty makes people obedient, and why the person who cares less often holds the leverage. We'll break down subtle dominance in conversations, relationships, and leadership. How pauses, eye contact, tone, and timing steer outcomes without force. This isn't about becoming manipulative. It's about realizing how often you're being shaped by people who seem harmless. Power rarely announces itself. It waits for you to comply. Did you know that good people get used the most? If you've ever been told you're too nice, this part is for you. Empathy is not rewarded in a system that exploits it. This section exposes how kindness, patience, and understanding become tools others leverage, consciously or not. We'll explore guilt-based manipulation, moral pressure, emotional debt, and how being the bigger person often means being the quieter victim. You'll hear examples that hit close to home. The coworker who dumps work on you. The friend who always needs support but disappears when you do. The family member who frames obligation as love. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about understanding that goodness without boundaries invites control. By the end, you'll see why some people drain you, and why they always seem surprised when you finally stop giving. Now, these are the lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. Not all manipulation comes from others. Some of it comes from you. This part turns the mirror inward. We'll confront the self-deceptions that keep people stuck, rationalizing disrespect, normalizing exhaustion, calling fear loyalty, calling avoidance peace. You'll learn how the mind protects identity at the cost of truth, why people defend systems that harm them, why clarity is often delayed, not because truth is hidden, but because it's inconvenient. This is uncomfortable territory, because growth doesn't start with blaming manipulators. It starts with admitting when you participated. Awareness has a shadow side. Once you understand manipulation, you may feel anger, distrust, emotional distance, the temptation to see everyone as an enemy. This final part is about integration, how to see reality clearly without losing your humanity. We'll talk about discernment versus paranoia, boundaries versus walls, strength without cruelty. You'll learn how to move through the world informed, not hardened, because the goal isn't to dominate, it's to choose consciously, to stop being controlled by what you don't see, to engage with people as they are, not as you wish they were. This is where the series lands, not in fear, but in clarity. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel as we unpack dark truths and psychology. Thank you. See you again.